Well, the Mississippi River has dropped nearly 3 feet in just a few days, but it has a ways to go at Harriet Island before cleanup crews there can get to work. Rob Olson joining us live in St. Paul now. So Rob, Harriet Island, popular spot. So are we expecting a ripple effect on plans there?
Not really at this point. No, that's the light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe the land at the end of the floodwaters here. I'm standing where the river crested this past weekend, so you can see it's gone down quite a ways. It's going to continue to go down a lot over the next few days. In fact, just today we've seen it drop where you can now see land around the pavilion back here on Harriet Island. But once it drops, then comes the scramble to get this ready to host the next big event out here.
Every time there was a flood, I just had to see what was here.
His photographic fixation with this particular park every time it goes under began in the summer of '93.
And I basically exclusively do Harriet Island.
And Mike Youngers is always astonished at the speed.
I'm just amazed at how fast the river can fill the park and, and then leave the park. I mean, I'm totally surprised because on Sunday, I was literally standing up here taking pictures and it looked like the river was like 20 feet away from me.
On Sunday, as the Mississippi had barely begun to drop from its crest of slightly over 20 feet, he saw people out in canoes and parents who'd kayak their kids to the playground.
You never know what's in the water.
Even though that's not at all advisable. Wednesday, workers barricaded that playground until the silt now left behind can be tested for contaminants. The water's already gone down 2.5 feet in only 3 days. It'll be down another 3 feet by Saturday, and at that point, the water will be off the island. While some cleanup can begin now, the city plans a full restoration effort to start Monday and given high priority. The next event scheduled here is the Minnesota Yacht Club Music Festival in 2 weeks. The city remains confident it will go as planned, that the soil will dry in time for when setup must begin.
Got some pretty intense pictures, that's how I'll call it.
But as Mike Youngers documented, a lot of work lies ahead because floodwaters are far from clean.
The smell, if pictures could smell, it would really stink.
If pictures could smell, yeah, you can almost smell the photo when you see some of that with everything that the floodwaters bring in. Now, the last event out here was on June 22nd. That was a wedding that night. The park closed the next day, and 11 permits were canceled by the city from that day through June 7th. Now, thankfully for all the bridal parties out there, since this is a popular spot for weddings, none of those canceled events were weddings. They were family gatherings and grad parties and the like. And again, the next big event then scheduled is that music festival in 2 weeks. So a lot of work to be done, but they think they're going to get started in earnest after the weekend. Live at Harriet Island, Rob Olson, Fox 9.
That's good news. All right, Rob, thank you.